Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be starting off a new reading vlog. Today I got a bunch of books in the mail. I mean, it wasn't that much. I got 3 books in the mail. The Macy, shut up. This is not the moment I'm filming. So I got 3 books in the mail, all books that I've heard amazing things about for years, and like I finally picked them up. They are all books about Black characters written by Black authors, and I just really freaking wanted to finally purchase these books and read them all because I realized how terrible I have been, and I really need to work harder to read more diversely. And it's disgusting that it took so much violence and everything to really knock me in the head and realize how little diverse books I have on my shelves. So I really want to work on that and just better myself. Obviously, the books that I got was Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. This book has intrigued me since it came out because the description was just so interesting. Like, I just wanted to know what was going on with it, and I'm actually currently halfway through it, and I just got it today and I'm so hyped about it, and I'll explain it in a minute. And then I got Dear Martin by Nick Stone. This book is way freaking smaller than I thought it was gonna be. Nick Stone is a person that I think is just so freaking cool. She was on a panel at YALLFest that I attended, and I never really knew much about her, but oh my gosh, her personality is just fantastic. She is hilarious, and I don't know, she's just so freaking funny, and I just wanted to support her so badly then on out. So finally got a copy of this book. And by the way, if you're like wanting these books, they're like super cheap on Amazon right now, so that was a win. Like, I was like, yes. And then another book by Jason Reynolds, All American Boys, another book I've heard about for ages and finally happening. Also, can we talk about how many awards he has for his books? Literally, what a freaking legend he is. The premise of this vlog is I'm gonna read 2 books in one day. This is something I never freaking do, and these books will be probably really easy to do that because this one is so small. It's only 208 pages and the text is huge, so the odds are in my favor that I can actually finish this in one day. And this one, I said I was going to describe it, and now I am. It is a book written in verse, which is kind of like poems. So it's something that is a lot quicker to read through, and that is what's making this book even more like enthralling. I'll explain what it's about now. It is about this girl. No, I'm already messing up. It's about this boy named Will. His older brother Sean was just murdered. He was shot dead in front of him, and you see those descriptions at the beginning of the book. He is dealing with grief. It is the next day. He had a terrible night, and he knows there's a gun in his brother's drawer. And him and his brother had these rules that they made. One rule is no crying, the second rule is don't snitch, and the third rule is revenge, like do it no matter what. So he's at this point, he thinks he knows who killed his brother, and you know, his brother is his world. He loves him so much. He feels he has to seek revenge for him because he thinks their old friend who joined a gang and just recently wasn't really their friend anymore, he thinks that he might have killed his brother. He is set on returning the favor pretty much. He lives in, I guess, an apartment building, and he's on the 8th floor, and he is going on the elevator, and each floor he goes down, someone new comes on the elevator and they talk. And this is him while he has a gun in his pocket, and he's ready to freaking go murder someone because of what they probably did to his brother. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful so far. Like, I literally am so into, I already have a bunch of tabs. It's just so beautiful so far, and I can definitely see why this book has so many awards. Like, you see this is all the awards that the book has won. I feel like this would be a really cool audiobook as well, and I've heard people say that, I'm pretty sure, you know, because it's written in verse. But dang, I just really am enjoying this. I don't really ever read anything in verse. I'm not really into poetry or anything, but from this book I think I might want to try things like that more because it is so freaking good, and just the different writing style for this story fits it perfectly. I feel like if it was written in a normal normal narrative, it might not hit as hard. I have quickly read 150 pages of this book, and I'm probably gonna finish it right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's open the vlog and do a thing where I try to read 2 books in one day, because I freaking never do that. I literally am a very slow reader, and I think I can do that because this book with verse, it's really easy to fly through, and then this book is so small, so I just think I have a chance to actually do something and read very quickly. But these are all 3 going to be definitely very powerful reads, and I'm gonna want to read this book very soon as well, especially because it's also by Jason Reynolds, and obviously I'm really loving this book, so I need to read the description for this one because I forgot what it's about. But I know with this book, it's about this kid named Justice, and he writes letters to Martin Luther King Jr., and that's honestly all I know about it. My friend Julia really loved this book, and I really need to read more about what this is actually about. Whenever I update, I will figure it out, but from that small bit that I know, like, I'm very intrigued, and I feel like this one will also be very powerful, so super excited, and we'll see if I can accept this challenge that I given myself. I am back. I have officially finished Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. Here's all my tabs. I don't know why I'm always showing everybody my tabs. I just love tabbing books. And I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I read it so quickly, obviously, because it is written in verse, and that makes a book go faster. But I felt like since it was written in verse, it was just so much more powerful than I even expected. Like, I completely forgot this book was written in verse when I just ordered it the other day, but when I opened it up, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so cool, I feel. And yes, like, the one word I really feel about this book is powerful. Literally, the last words of this book gave me chills. It just all came together, and the message behind it, you just have to read it to understand, because it's so beautifully done, and I really think everybody should give this book a try, whether it's the audiobook or this physical copy. But it's definitely fantastic, and I'm so glad that I finally picked it up. It literally took me years, because I remember when this book was first coming out, and I literally never got around to even picking it up. Like, this book came out in 2017, so it took me 3 years to finally read this book, and man, I am annoyed with myself for not picking it up sooner, because it was absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it for everybody. And now I'm gonna pick up Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I just read the synopsis to get a little bit of a better idea of what's going on with this book. Our main character, Justice McAllister, he's the top of his class. He has a really bright future, and one day he ends up getting arrested by a police officer, and he says, or the description says, it kind of all goes down the drain just because of this. And it seems like it's because him and his friend Manny, they are blasting music on a drive down somewhere, and they ended up sparking fury from a white off-duty cop beside them. Words fly, shots are fired, and Justice and his friend Manny are in the middle of the situation, and it looks like the media gets this story underway and starts talking about it, and Justice is the one under attack. Sounds like he is getting wrongfully, like, criminalized, and people are attacking him in the media, and I don't know if he, like, is, like, fully arrested and, like, thrown in jail or something, or he is arrested and he gets released. But he also is trying to understand himself through his life by writing letters to Martin Luther King Jr. This just sounds freaking powerful as well. I don't feel like I know enough about Martin Luther King Jr. as well, so I feel like this book could provide even more information on him. And because, I don't know, our school systems really fail us. Like, they just brush over the smallest details with Black history, and then don't really give us any freaking literature written by Black people or nothing. Oh, my neighbors are outside. Okay, sorry, they had a dog. But they don't give us any books written by Black authors about racism. I don't think I had any in my elementary school, middle school, or high school career that was written by a Black author. I can't think of one. Like, they throw To Kill a Mockingbird at you and think that they've accomplished everything, which is just not right, obviously. So I'm really excited to read this, and I definitely want to check out her other books. This book is so short, so I should be able to fly through it if I just keep going. I'm thinking about the hot dogs that my family's bringing me, like they're getting like takeout, and oh, I'm so hungry right now, so maybe I'll show you the hot dogs whenever I get it, but that sounds so good. And potato salad. Sorry, I'm so hungry, but dang, I'm gonna get started on reading this. I'm actually like doing a little reading party through FaceTime with my boyfriend Brett. He's currently reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. He's halfway through it. I'm so proud of him. Like literally the same dude that years ago told me he would never read, like reading stupid, movies are better, blah blah blah, is the same dude who's on the 4th Harry Potter book. He read the whole Hunger Games trilogy. He read the first Percy Jackson book. So proud. He is moving through the classic like young adult books, and then after that I'm gonna throw other books at him. Like he already said this book sounds interesting. Like I've already sold this to him, so success. But I'll update you guys later. So here's my hot dogs. They look literally disgusting, but I'm sure they taste good. And my potato salad.
And this is a grilled chicken sandwich, and I'm gonna rate it. Even though I already took a bite, we're gonna do this again.
Is it good? You just dropped it.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Oh wow.
I dropped a Ludus.
Hey everyone, I am back with an update. It is midnight. It's getting later, but this is coming from a person who stays up till like 4 in the morning every night, so it's fine. I am now halfway through Dear Martin by Nick Stone, so like it's only 106 pages. Like I'm 106 pages into it. It's literally a 208 page book, so it's super duper short, and I should have no problem finishing the rest of it. I just thought I would come in with an update since I'm halfway through it now. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's either going to be a 4 or 5 star read. I haven't really decided, so I'll probably just have to finish it and see how I feel. I already talked a little bit about what this book is about, but since I'm reading it now, I'm going to get more into it. I'm really liking the main character, Justice. He is a black boy who attends this really preppy school where there's just very few black people there, and that leaves him in an uncomfortable situation. He always feels like an outsider, and his friend Manny, who's also black, it's like his only black friend, he's friends with a bunch of white dudes who are low-key racist and say a bunch of wrong things, and Manny like just lets it happen for some reason. He just lets it slide, and at the beginning of the book we see Justice experience an encounter with a police officer. He's arrested and he didn't do anything wrong. Ever since that, he's been really looking at things differently and just being like, wow, people really are judging me just from my skin color on what is going on inside my brain. Like, and it's just obviously disgusting, and he just never really fully realized it as much before. He's been hearing things on the news of black boys getting murdered by police officers, but it seems like it's not as like crazy big yet in this book, or at least from his perspective, because it seems to not be as current. I don't know how to put that, but he didn't like seem to know all that much about it at this point, but after his experience and he's seeing these headlines in the news, and he's just like really just put through a shock and just realizing that all these people around him are still being terrible, and it doesn't even matter that he is the top of his class. He's like a great kid and he's super smart and he's going to go great places. No, people don't care. They just see him and mark him as a criminal, and it's just disgusting. And he's realizing that, and as you see through his letters to Martin, he's just like going through it. He is just trying to figure out what to do with his life right now, and how to deal with the experiences, and how to deal with the remarks that those stupid white boys keep saying, and should he say something against them or should he let it slide, and like what is it that he needs to do right now. I think it's a very important perspective. I also saw on Goodreads that there's going to be another book called Dear Justice, so I think some other boy is going to be writing letters to Justice. And I'm like, what is happening? I saw in the description that it says that Justice and Manny are caught in the crosshairs. So like, do they have another experience with a police officer? And it says it gets in the media, so I'm assuming something else happens that I haven't gotten to yet, and maybe Justice becomes like a figure in the media, and then maybe someone would write letters to him too. So I don't know, definitely need to just keep reading. Honestly, I have a headache and I'm tired, so I just gotta ignore it and like push through the last 100 pages because I'm so close. I can't stop now. And I definitely just want to see how it ends. So I guess I'm gonna go do that. I am back again. I have officially finished Dear Martin by Nick Stone, and not gonna lie, this book totally like hit me with emotions. Like I still have like tears in my eyes. Part 2 really freaking went for it. Like it just changed it from a 4-star read to a 5-star read for me. Like it really hit me in the emotions. And coming into this book, I was really nervous because since it's so short, I was worried that I wouldn't really get to connect to the characters well, or the book would feel rushed. But shockingly, I was able to connect with the characters to the point where I had freaking tears in my eyes, and it didn't feel rushed. Like the story flowed the way I felt like it needed to, and I feel like that's pretty rare when you have a short book. Oftentimes I'm like, okay, this was way too fast paced and everything, but I just think this was so well done, and I definitely need to read like everything else by Nick Stone. I actually have an arc of this Black Panther book about Shuri that she wrote, so probably gonna pick that up soon. I've been wanting to read it since I got it because I love the Black Panther movie. It's so freaking good. But wow, this book blew me away, and I'm also very pleased that I completed the challenge of reading 2 books in one day. Even though they were pretty short, like it's still a success, so I feel good about it. And I definitely highly recommend this book, especially like for what's happening in the world right now. This one really hit. Like it hit. There was lines like I was just like, whoa, people need to hear this right now because it is what people need. And oh my gosh, that's all I can say. Like this just came all together, and the character development, like the last scene, that's like what really choked me up because I was just like, it all came together in the character development that these characters had. And I also really enjoyed the romance we had in here. It was like, you know, a little bit in the back burner, but I still liked it. And normally with short books as well, I can't really stand behind the romances because it just doesn't have enough time to develop. But this one was pretty low-key, and it wasn't the focus of the book, so like I probably wouldn't have cared even if I didn't like the romance. Kind of like with The Hate U Give, I didn't like the romance in that, but like it wasn't the point of the book, so I didn't really care. But it's also nice when you have a book like this where, yeah, the romance is not the point of it, it's a side plot, but it was still good, and I still thought they were super cute. It was actually an interracial relationship as well, and I really think they're cute. I don't know if there's any like film rights or anything taken for this book, but whoa, I would love to see this as a movie. I feel like it would be really powerful. It's similar to The Hate U Give, but I feel like it gives a different look at it, like in the mind of a black boy. I feel like both of these books, they jump off of each other. I mean, every book, like this book also, but this one felt different because it's written in verse, and it just has a different feel to it because of that, but it still hit me hard. Like I really enjoyed it so much. Like it was beautifully written. And then this one is more, oh, what is the word? Like more contemporary. Like we feel in this person's head. It doesn't feel poetic and everything. It's just like, this is the raw truth. And I just really loved it, man. It was so freaking good. I highly recommend both of these books. What freaking iconicness, is that even a word? Don't even know. That I read 2 books in one day, and they're both 5 stars. Though I'm not the most critical reader, but like they were good. Okay, I'm really hyped. Also, I think it's funny because on this book it's blurbed by Jason Reynolds, and Jason Reynolds wrote this obviously, so highly recommend these books. I really enjoyed my time with them. I guess I'm gonna end this vlog. Let me know if you've read these books and if you've enjoyed them. If you haven't read them, I definitely recommend them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it, comment down below. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below, and go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked, and goodbye.